Hey, welcome back, everybody. Here we go. We are live. Johnny Mac, Coach Daddy J with you. We want to give special shout outs to our sponsors, Bjorn Hockey, Don Cherry Sports Grills, for sponsoring us over the year. Johnny Mac, here we go. Game 5 tonight. Listen, we've both been around a hot second. And we've seen a lot of things from this team over the years in the playoffs. Have you ever seen it? Oh, we're just going live now. It looks like it's just recording now. Okay. Maybe we should stop.
We're 45 seconds.
We're good? Okay. It just came on mine. Fair enough. Yeah. Have you ever seen anything like this? Because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some goofy things over my, several years in the game. But just, if you kind of look at it at high level, what's wrong with Matthews? Nobody knows. Is he sick? Is he hurt? Does he have concussions? No, nobody's talking. Obviously, they keep these things close to their chest in the playoffs. Same thing with Nylander, and quite frankly, same thing with Marner. So you got 3 world-class players. You don't know who's available, who's 100%, who's healthy. And Mike Johnson from TSN, I just mentioned it to you off the air. He made a really good point. Usually at the end of a playoff run, the last few anyway, the defense couldn't do it, or the goaltending couldn't do it. This is, there could have been a few more saves by Sammy at key times, but they're not scoring. Right? We're not scoring goals. So those goals that come, a dime a dozen in the regular season are gone. I'm hoping my gut here, and I don't think they've announced anything yet. My gut is that you're going to see Matthews tonight. I would rather have Matthews on
at 25%
on 4 power play shifts, and that's it, than have a guy that plays 5 minutes and goes up and down his wing. I think they're protecting him obviously by not letting him skate and doing this and that, but he's still that guy that you get a PP late, or you get your goalie out late and you need a guy to pull the trigger. He's the guy. But I mean, it's at the end of the day, and we're going to be quick here tonight, folks. We're going to do a quick hit, and I said we could do an 8-hour show, and John said we could do a 24-hour show, and he's absolutely right with all the idiosyncrasies and nuances that are happening behind the scenes, and talking about all this goofy stuff. They're not out of it, right? They're down 3-1. That lots of teams can come back. They have outplayed Boston for a big part of these 4 games and only came out with 1. Just not scoring at the right time, or whatever you want to say. They still have an opportunity. Now, do they want this opportunity? Because we all know the repercussions. If the Toronto Maple Leafs lose the hockey game tonight, there's going to be multiple changes within the organization, all the way from maybe a Brendan Shanahan. Definitely, I think if Keefe doesn't get out of this round, he's 100% gone. He might have to win 2 rounds to keep his job. You've got rumors swirling around Mitch Marner, and then you got the scene the other night. I'm not going to comment on that because I'm not in that room. But there's clearly a fragile, fractured room. So they've had 2.5 days to figure it out. You don't know who the lineup's going to be basically until, after warm-up, or you might not even know after warm-up. You might not know until they all come out, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this group, if they want to stay together, if they like each other, and they want to compete with each other for years to come, they got to win 3 hockey games in a row minimum, right? And they have to eliminate the Boston Bruins in 7 games. If not, there's going to be major changes within this organization, and that's definitely the core 4. I'm not going to speculate what's going to happen, but I would think that 1 or 2 of them may get moved. The problem is the no move contracts, but there's ways around that. And other than Treliving, I think anybody else in upper management and the coaching staff will be gone. So maybe that's what the players want. I don't know.
So
I'm at a loss for words. I couldn't even fathom what was going on.
It is. So here's the one thing that I want to say, and if you've been watching us all year long, I have said all year long, we're not right. We are not right. Yeah, we'd win games, but we'd win games like that we shouldn't win, and we didn't play well, and you'd see teams, and you could see teams working on things. When we would win, but we would win because our talent was just better. And on given nights, the talent can rise above. And if you're playing a minnow and you got sharks, you're supposed to win. The talent is supposed to elevate. But we never worked on things. How many times did we come on, John, and there was a goal given up in the last minute of the period, right? And it's the fourth line that's on. And you'd go, and I would lose it. And I'd come on and be like, how are we making these same mistakes again? And to be very fair, and I think on this podcast, above all else, we try to be fair. We'd say, listen, you know what? It's a back-to-back game. It was, you have to remember there was 3 guys out on a shift beforehand. And, like we would justify and we would come up, but it was the same stuff over and over again. And my whole point all year long, as it's been every time on any podcast I've ever been on, is that nothing changes. It's the same stuff. And we rely on the talent. We don't rely on the systems. We don't change process. We rely on the talent. And the theory is let the wild horses run, and sooner or later, that talent in key moments is going to deliver. And it's not happened. And it's not happened simply because when talent doesn't have the will and systems have passion, systems win every time. They win every time. And I think what we're seeing here now is guys, and listen, I understand that you don't want to comment, John, on that debacle on the bench. I understand. I'll comment. That is embarrassing on every. I don't care whether if you were coaching a minor Adam team and you had a player throw his gloves.
Great set.
Like, and listen, and how for me, that trainer behind him had to go out and pick those gloves up and give him back to him. Give them back to him in order for him to get back on the ice. It is inexcusable that takes place, and I will maintain until the day I die. This is not a 2024 problem. This is not a this season problem. This is the culmination of 5 years of Sheldon Keefe and not holding players accountable on a weekly, monthly, and yearly basis. The same crap has been allowed to go on and on and on. And John, I've been saying it for as long as you've known me. That's the issue. And now what's happened is the chickens.
A much bigger issue than him.
But I'm just saying the chickens are coming home to roost now, right? And the players are starting to go in on each other. I think when we do a debrief at the end of the year, you're going to find out this room is fractured.
Oh yeah, absolutely it's fractured.
So now, here's what I will say though. I believe in Christmas miracles. And listen, I've said all along I love Joseph Woll. I think Joseph Woll should have been the starter all the way along. If Joseph Woll can come in and give us a solid game, the Leafs can win tonight. I believe the Leafs will win tonight. I do. And to my core, because I believe it's the most Leaf thing that we could do. I believe that we're going to win tonight. And I actually truly believe that you're going to see Mitch Marner have a fantastic game tonight. I really do. Honest to God. I believe that you're going to see Morgan Rielly come up, and Morgan Rielly's going to have a big game. I really believe that. I like the idea of us going into Boston and winning, and then coming back, and then listen, every game, John, and you said it exactly right. How much do you want to continue this run? Because let's be honest, there is going to be a bloodletting if we go down tonight, tomorrow, or in Game 7. It's a bloodletting, and everybody is going to be accountable.
Yeah, I got a couple things. Yeah, I don't disagree with anything that you said, other than the fact the coach is gone. You're going to get your wish, but this isn't on him. In my opinion, this isn't on him. This is, when the players behave like that on the bench. Okay, it tells me that there's way more going on behind the scenes, because I think a lot of stuff in the last little while has been out of the coach's hands. You and I talked, and Nolan, a couple weeks ago, when we were talking about what are they going to do with Matthews if he's shooting for 70. And I said, as a coach, I don't care.
Yeah,
you sit his ass, right? If that's going to help you, right? And they didn't have an option in 81 because they were still, you know what I mean? You have to protect the integrity of the division, right? You sit your best players. It says that you want this team, blah, blah. I get it. 82. Okay. It's got 69. They're locked, right? But here's where I think the fracture in the front office of the organization. I would say Sheldon Keefe would have been irresponsible if he didn't have that conversation with Treliving, maybe Matthews agent. I don't know. But at the end of the day, what concerns me here, and the same thing with Nylander, something happened in 82 that's forced one or both of those guys to not
be at their best,
or at their best, or whatever. And it could be both. It could be one. It could be the other. But that's kind of my feeling on it. Like, is that?
Listen, I respect the opinion. I do. Yeah. I respect the opinion, and that's looking at it from a micro perspective. I'm looking at it from a macro perspective.
Sure.
I don't believe that the issue that's on the bench right now is based on a micro level issue. If this was the very first time we seen something like this, John, I'm in. I'm totally with you. Yeah. This is playoff after playoff after playoff after playoff. And it's the same story, rewritten a little bit differently, right? Shuffle the deck chairs, move them around, but it's the same story. And the bottom line is, it wasn't good enough in Montreal. And let's be honest, let's put all the cards on the table. There has been zero, zip, nada progress with this group since Montreal. It's the same story.
Yeah, I mean, that for sure. They won a round last year. Whoopie-doo.
Yeah,
right? And you got to win 4 rounds.
And so here's something that I think that I want to point out to everybody too, just because I think he's getting a bit of a free ride here, and it drives me mental. Where is the captain? Where is he? I heard he's
been declining for a year and a half.
But listen, I saw there was Ryan Reeves today. There was a post a comment that he made that he came out and said, listen, we're not done. Nobody in this room believes we're done. We're ready to go. Everybody in this room tonight, we're going to be ready to play. We're going to be fired. Why is that coming from a guy playing 7 minutes a game? Why is that not coming?
Did you the captaincy the other night? He's not the captain.
Like, John, if you heard him after that game, it was like, I am a robot. My name is Tavares. This is what I'm supposed to say.
Maybe that's why they're keeping him away.
It is it's so bad. It's not
even keeping them away, right? He's not going to do a Messier thing. Ryan Reeves will.
Yeah.
Right? I get it. But what did I predict in this series? I predicted this series.
Yeah.
What did I say? Series is going to go 5 games.
5 games. 5 games.
So I still believe that, unfortunately.
Who knew, John, that I would be the positive?
I'm not positive. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope they get a couple more games. I hope they, win the next 3, right? But it's going to start with a real good start tonight and a real good effort. They got to score some goals. They got to score more than 3 or 4 goals. I think they got to run it up. They got to get in Swayman's head, and Wall has to be unbeatable. He's got to be that guy that every little kid that's a goaltender dreams of being, right? Coming in like a Patrick Waugh in the 86 playoffs as a rookie, and going all the way, right? That's what dreams are made of for these kids. That's what Binnington dreamed, right? And he did it, right? Wall is in the same position. He's got to win 3 games against Boston, and then you got to play Florida, right? That's probably going to be the hardest 2 series you're going to have. Agreed. If you want to go deep. I'm watching some of the West, and I just don't. I just don't see.
Hold on. Did you watch? Did you see that? Listen, we all know on this show we are massive Cale Makar fans on this show. Did you see the Bobby Orr behind the net go up the entire ice, skate through the team, finish, and then put his head down and skate back?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the greatest of all time defenseman.
I mean, that kid is just and listen, if you just watch the Leafs and you don't pay a lot of attention to what's going on, next time Colorado is on and you're up, do yourself a favor. Just watch that team. Yeah. Oh man, so good. So good.
And I still think that the 4 teams in the Atlantic Division, are
so listen, but before we move on from the captain, because I heard this today, and I think it's absolutely, it absolutely pains me to say this, to compliment Brad Marchand. But here's what I want to say to you. 35 years old, 36 years old almost, 2 years older than Tavares, and smaller than Mitch Marner, and dominates every game. Every game.
He's a great all player.
Listen, the guy is I hate him. I just there's nothing I like about that guy except for the fact that, my God, is he good.
Oh, he's a great player. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
One of those guys that you don't want to play against, but you'd love to have him on your team.
Oh, so
Gretzky told a story the other night about him.
John, I'm so glad you brought that up. Tell the story, because it is absolutely the epitome of what the Maple Leafs are missing.
Yeah, he gets named captain, I think, last summer when Bergie retired, and showed up in Boston 2 weeks before camp.
Rookie camp.
Skated with the rookies, right? And was out there with them, showing them around, showing them how to be a pro. A lot of guys, and that's a culture thing. The Boston Bruins, they've done it right for a long, long time. I think it comes from, Cam Neely's of the world and they brought
Chara in to speak to those guys. They brought all of the guys that are important. They brought the organization didn't. Be very clear. That's Marchand and Bergeron and Chara and all of those guys, because it means something to them. They want Boston to continue the level of excellence.
Yeah, 100%.
And you see that, sure. And you go like, how many Maple Leaf fans wear this and we bleed it, and we love it, and we want it?
Those stories are in Toronto too. They're there.
We got to hear them, Johnny. We got to hear them, because I don't hear them. Do you hear them?
Yeah, I hear them. Yeah.
Okay. We got to tell you. Got to tell them then, because
guys are skating in the summer with the kids, and I know Austin's had some of the younger players down to train with them in Phoenix. Like that, it's not and same thing. Brad's not out yapping about it, right?
Yeah.
It was Gretzky. The only reason everybody's hearing about this
is because it's Gretzky.
If you said it or I said it, our 7 listeners and 3 followers would hear it, right? No, I'm kidding. A little bit more than that, but
yeah, there's easy 12.
Anyway, let's do some predictions.
Okay, let's go.
Did Nolan?
Nolan didn't send any in. I didn't see.
Nolan will have the Leafs. I'll have the Leafs too, but I think it's going to be either 5-1, Toronto or 5-1 Boston.
Okay,
one or
so
the other.
I'm telling you, it's going to be 2-1. That's the only way we're winning this hockey game. You're not scoring 5 goals on Jeremy Swayman. It's not going to happen.
I think you have to win the series.
Yeah, but listen, tonight in Boston, in an elimination game, you're not getting 5 by Jeremy Swayman. This game's got to be a 2-1 game, 1-0, 2-1. We've got to hold tight. And listen, somebody's all year, all I heard was Max Domi and Tyler Bertuzzi. Don't worry about what they do. They're going to make a difference in the postseason. Guys, this is when you got to make a difference. Max Domi can't take stupid penalties. Tyler Bertuzzi, just stand in front of the net. Don't move. You know what I mean? Like, this is, if there's ever been a time that you're ever going to get a pass for what happened in the regular season, earn your money tonight, boys.
They got 3 games. They got 3 games to keep this group together.
This is what it's all about.
That's it. That starts tonight. You get the one tonight, then you got a chance.
And
right?
You know what? Like, are you like? I'm just saying, I am not ready for this to be done.
I never am.
I'm not ready. No, but like this year especially, I'm not. I don't feel like this is. In years past, when we've gone out, I've been like, yeah, this is not how we go out. We don't go out like this in Boston to end everything and blow it up in Boston. That is not the way we're going to go out. I really feel like Joseph Wall, man, in Wall we trust. That's where it's got to be tonight. I feel good about it, Johnny. Let's say our prayers going in. Say our prayers. Go Leafs, go.
Let's go. Thanks to Bjorn and Don Cherry Sports Grill as usual, and hopefully we have another show here on when's the next one? Thursday, Game 6.
Yeah, Thursday and then
Saturday.
Yeah. All right.
Good night, folks.
Let's talk on Saturday or Friday or Thursday.